Doop. There we go. Okay, did my focus get off now? Probably. So we're good. At about here-ish. I want to say. Here? Here? Okay. There. Cool. I want to switch that over to night mode. Hey, welcome coming and hanging out. We're going to paint this horrific thing. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let me change one thing before I totally get underway. Maybe. Oh, it's because I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Ha! That would be why. Sweet. That makes me feel a world better. Cool. All right. Right. I've had a hard time picking out colors. So totally serial. It's one of those where I keep finding more and more entertaining colors to toy with, and like crusted sore, which I dig. So I think for this atrocity, ooh, gosh, I don't know whether to go more alien or more like undeady in a way, because it screams like a super abomination to me. Like in like literal ways. Like I can hear it. But yeah. Oh my word. Okay. Oh. Put that over there, that over there. Good times. This way I can see everything. Yeah, let's get a brush here. Get that raring to go. Okay, so I think I might... You know, necrotic flesh might be the way to go, in all fairness, in this case. There's a lot of different ways we can handle it. But yeah. Hopefully all this will get mixed. Doing it with too much of a mess. I might change my focus a little bit too to be like right about here. Yeah, let me adjust my focus on that because that camera is... There we go. That'll work. It's a lot better to do in there. Alright, so I'm going to start off with necrotic flesh as kind of a base tone. And work our way kind of up from there, because I feel like this is just going to give us something horrific at the end of the day. Who knows? Okay. It depends on if it mixed well enough. Which... who knows? One of those, I haven't touched these paints in a while, so it could be a bit icky at this point. But handy dandy. Okay. Ah. Oh, that feels good. All right. And here we go. On all this necrotic fleshy goodness on this dark mini. I always do enjoy how much these things like just change and evolve as I go from time to time. This might just be a little dead, but we'll do what we can. Shake it really hard this time. Sometimes I end up with like really thick stuff, and sometimes it ends up really runny. I think I finally broke through the runny layer. Yeah, that feels better. Okay. Ah, there we are. Awesome. Okay, we've uncovered the good paint on the inside of the can, in a literal way. So what I'll probably end up doing with this is putting like a mixtures of some of these odd purples and stuff on top of it, just to give it even more of a grotesque sort of look, in some way, shape, or form. This thing has a lot of underside to it too. Ooh, let's see how well that goes. Right now, it's just kind of about coating the darn thing. And one thing I do want is I do kind of want this thing to have that kind of like I'm recovering this thing with a different kind of color match primer. Of this like flesh tone, of this necrotic flesh tone, partially because I really do want a hazy green color regardless of whatever I put on it. So if that's what I can hope to achieve, awesome, or otherwise it's just gonna suck. So hopefully not. Trying to get in all those odd little nooks and crannies here. Ultimately, this thing, I feel like I picked the wrong mini to do sometimes, but then again, it's just a challenge, right? All these weird little spots here. All these odd tendrils that this thing has. I do dig that this thing is the grossest thing I've ever seen come out of that miniature, though. Like, it is spectacular as far as like the gross factor is concerned. There we go. Now we're getting even spread. I'm trying to get it so I have decent little coverage in most spots. And yeah, it just kind of stands out a bit. Now I've done like a couple, like several minis just in like with like this black primer and that's underneath here, and like I always like for like these big hefty, gnarly looking grotesque things to really be as I don't know. I like them as like extra dark entities. To be fair, like. If you're coming up against something like this, odds are good it's like, you know, like the Upside Down or something along those lines, because this thing is just horrific in the way that it is. So when you play a game like Kids on Bikes or what is it, Dark Places and Demigorgons. That's the name of the other RPG that's a bit more set in the 80s, is basically Stranger Things, the RPG at the end of it all. Trying to get all the spots I can. This undead flesh tone. Oh my word. Now I've got, like, for whatever reason, I've got a terrible version of all the single ladies in my head. It's just all the single minis, though. That's what it is. It's all the single minis. Now you're gonna have it in your head too. Hope so, anyway, because that'd be hilarious. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Wick off some of this. Here is it. Kind of starts to dry. I'm using my phone with a paper towel on it. Move my phone out of the way. Okay, let's clean up some of that. So let's spread out a bit. Yeah, this thing looked awful to begin with. Now I can actually see definition in it, so I can see which bits and pieces I want to change a little bit more. Those highs and low zones. I almost thought about going purple with this, because I've got a list of different colors here in front of me. It's just like, ugh. I know I want to use this one, like, super duper bad, just because it's, yeah, it just fits what I want this thing to be at the end. Hey, there's some more spots that I just couldn't reach or couldn't see with the first pass. Let's see here. Yeah, this thing has, like, wicked odd tendrils and just icky spots on it. I'm just trying to make sure that I hit it all with my base color that I want. I'll tilt this down because I'm just, like, hunched over myself with my eye, like, square on this thing. Just like, trying to be a mild troll, I guess. I'm just I don't know. Oh. Yeah. I mean, we're at a good start, I guess. It's one of those things of, like, the fear of starting a miniature is like, okay. And, like, for me, I relatively didn't mind what color this was going to be at the end. But I was like, okay, what colors do I have? What kind of fun things can I do with it? And, like, this thing, since it's so amorphous, I kind of got the power of whatever I feel it should be, which is kind of nice at the end of the day. It's a bit it's definitely freeing, but at the same time, like, it's hard knowing what I actually should put on it. Okay, so, let's see. Are there any hard connection points? On this guy. There we go. We'll wick off some of this extra. What I'm probably going to end up doing is, I think I'm going to do these tendrils that are up here on the top in, like, a purple color on top of this. And there's a couple different ways I can go about it. I've got one here that's orc blood that's a bit more purple. I have a grimoire purple somewhere in my wonderful stashed organization system, which is actually just a frickin' drawer. It's not great. There you are, grimoire. Okay, and this is a bit deeper purple, which I do like. I also like that crusted sore. And some of these paints, I haven't touched these paints in forever. I swear. But, right, I'm trying to get a good lay of how I want this guy to kind of go. And I might actually do this with a set of washes even. Because it very well could... Ooh, that's Cephia Washio. So if you don't know anything about washes, these are normally what you put on to, like, kind of do textures, and get in some of those odd spots and, like, colorize different things depending on what color your mini is. And like for me, I'm normally using things like when I was painting on Friday, I was using just like a dark tone, a strong tone, and that, which is just kind of like a heavy brown, black, red color, which on like a brown miniature is great, especially one that has like fur. I have ones like for flesh, if anything. I have one that's just straight black, and I've used this on a couple different things. I've used like this red wash on stuff like this dragon here, and that, which really turned out pretty okay. I mean, I've also threw a couple other like metallics and stuff on here because it's a dragon and they roll in gold because that's how lore works. But yeah, I think my those upper tendril parts are dry enough that I can kind of hit them with the color that I want. Now I also have like this alien purple sitting right here, which is another deep purple, and I might use it, I might not. I just kind of pulled out several things. I'm really thinking about this demonic yellow. Oh, love it. I might use this in a nice highlight way. I'm not totally sure yet. I also found this. I have this moon dust, which also is kind of a weird sickly yellow, which kind of goes along with the current state of this monstrosity. So we'll see kind of where the wind takes us, to be totally fair. And like here, like back here, before I put on like this first initial thing, like I can see that now, like part of this, like this is a hand reaching back here as this thing's changing into whatever horrific thing that it is. It's got one goober of an eye up here, which I might use a different kind of effect on it. I'm not totally sure yet, but part of the adventure is figuring out as you go. All right, so let's get out. Yeah, I'm gonna do some. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do the grimoire. I want this thing to be a bit more bright and shiny, I guess. I don't know. I just take that out of there because I don't need it. Actually, what I'll do is boop. There we go. Do one of those. I don't need that thing on there. Okay, you see I'm just shaking the daylights out of these. Now, I might have to open it up to give it a little bit of breathing space. Come on, you, shake loose. Alright, let's see what we get. Yep, okay, taking out some of that. It's a bit separated still. There we go. That sounds better. There we go, broken it up. Had to release some of the ubers and the goobers in there. Ooh, that's gonna be a deep purpley color. Awesome. Okay. So take off some of that off the brush. All right, so we're gonna start back over here, and what I'm gonna do is just go up and over it. These tendrils, this icky dicky purple. I don't know who else watching, but thanks for coming and hanging out. Just watching me talk to myself. Now I can see that like right up here, there actually is like this connection point that's fairly visible. It's one of those things when I had it painted completely black or when it was completely gray, I couldn't see before. And so what I'm gonna do is get this painted down to that connection. There's a mild, it's kind of like just like where if you painted like someone who's wearing a vest up to their, like from their like fingertips to their shoulder with like flesh tones or something along those lines. It's the same idea. And I do want some of this like paint to mix on here. So that's why I'm not like spending like a while waiting for like my base tone to totally dry. Gives me a nice, easier canvas to work with, for one. And two, lets me blend these two colors together to make it look more like it is of the same creature. Rather than having like, hey, here's some stark whatever, and this other stark tone that doesn't make any other sense. And like some of this will like be affected with the wash that I put on it later, because the wash will effectively blend these transitions between the two colors, which is dang handy. The wash definitely has hidden several of the mistakes I've made on miniatures in the past, so yeah, we'll have that fun. But yeah. Okay, so I've got them nearly fully covered now. Just getting these under bits here. And what I might do also is I might take a similar color wash to here, just to kind of make my own like points of this and that and otherwise. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now I've got this heavily icky bit, and I might make each one of these tendrils that are coming off it like this purpley icky color. Partially because, well, one, I put out a lot of paint on this table, but two, I want a little bit of consistency across it, all the same. So a little bit of consistency goes a long way, especially like if like you wouldn't paint like the legs of a creature hyperly different than its like torso, so to speak, as long as it's not wearing like chainmail and stuff like that. But then again, you might have like a fade of tones. You might, if you're mixing paints, it's a little bit tough. But yeah, I mean, there's a myriad of ways to kind of handle it. It's always up to you what you want to do, but like a little bit of consistency does go a long way. So like down here, probably the bottom parts of these little icky bits that are hanging off of him, I'm gonna make these that similar tone. And like as it comes up and into the middle here, I'll probably make it put some other deeper tones along with this, just to kind of get in there a bit more. Come down here. Yeah, as I like to say, the mini has to tell me what it wants as I look at it. Like the more human the more like there are some human arms and stuff hanging off of this thing, or human-ish arms hanging off of it, I should say. Ish is the key word. I might make them something more of a fleshy tone or so. But definitely for like these weird Cthulian style like tendrils, we're just gonna go this interestingly weird purple. It's like this thing seems to be like the midst of like turning into like tentacles or something along those lines. Who knows? Yeah. And sometimes there's always that wonder of like, okay, did I pick the correct mini to do? All right, I gotta play the wiggle it through game. Eek. I think I got it. That's the hard part with this. Sometimes there's just little tight zones that want to work against you. Okay, got that. We're starting to see a little bit more of that odd consistency there. Oh no! Don't run away! Whatever shall I do? go to the Facebook. Boop. Uh-oh. I sense a presence. Getting laundry?
What?
You getting laundry?
My what?
You getting laundry? Or what are you doing? Just come hang out.
Just wave. I'm playing Neverwinter.
Just wave.
I went to play
And
Diablo
that?
and it wouldn't work. Put the disc in and it wouldn't work. Can you go to the electric breaker box and turn off the breaker for the furnace? Give it 10 seconds and turn it back on and see if it kicks back on. If not, we'll call Hinderoffer for you.
Okay.
I don't know how.
It's that way.
Yeah, I don't know which one does it.
It's labeled. It would be labeled. It's a switch. You flip it one way, then you flip it another. Oh my. Think you found the right one.
I think so.
There you go. Sounds like it's going.
Yeah, that sounds louder.
Do you see the furnace on? Do you see the fire on?
The fire's not in there, but
It's blowing louder.
what?
So, okay, it calmed itself.
Yeah.
Gotta love playing with furnace issues. I'd say give it a minute
Yeah.
or so, and then just say that if the temperature doesn't go up,
Yeah.
then just say like the temperature is not rising.
Yeah.
And
It's
that-
running, but
I can hear the fans are blowing, but there's no like fire burning.
yeah.
Because you'd see the blue flame.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if maybe it clicked off, but it didn't.
No, normally makes a whoosh noise if it
Yeah.
does. Okay. Yeah, it's like normally you can see the flame, but right now we don't see
Yeah.
any. Yep. Tried that fix. Just tried that. Okay, we tried your thing. It
Nope, she's calling you.
oh, she?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think we'll be okay. Probably. I don't know. Focus. Thank you. Okay. Back to this. It is rather chilly down here. I will say that. So, yeah. This thing has a... It's always that fun part when I keep finding more stuff on a mini. For sure. So, like, I keep finding more of these, like, little tendrils and stuff as they are coming out of its being. And that, or like, hey, look, that used to be a foot. 'Cause that definitely, like, used to be a foot right here. It's definitely not now. So yeah, we'll get some nice icky shading things out of this. It already looks neat, and like we're just starting off, which is kind of nice. Okay, get another one like right here. So you can kind of see what I'm up to here. But just outside of that shadow. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, and I'll give it some little more. Put on a mildly second coat, sorts. Get just a little more of this grimoire. Okay. Now, the one thing I do like about painting miniatures is that I get that wonderful luxury of if I screw up, I just paint over it. No big deal. Perfectly fine. Perfectly content with that. No one's gonna chat with me? That's real sad. As always, I hope that we can just chillax, hang out. Okay, I bet I can hide live. Whoop. Okay. Close that out. Close that window. Okay, fine. You won't close that window. Never mind, machine. Nah. Okay. All right. So our next... Ooh, what should our next step be? That's always the fun part. You know, I really want to put some of that demonic yellow on here. But I want to do it... Actually, with a pretty... Okay, this one's nice and flailed. I'll take this soft tip. Alright, now I get to shake the martini. That sounds a lot better. A little bit of a break up there. There we go. Yeah, I think it's just a little full on liquid here. There we go. A little more. Okay. Yeah, one of those things of like stuff I haven't used in a while. Like, there we go. Now I'm hearing it actually break up. Or stuff I haven't used at all, because some of this was brand new when I got it about a year ago. So, yeah, I mean, it's aged. It's aged paint, right? Aged to ish perfection, whatever that is. All right, let's see here. That's better. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna give that a bit of a mix. And that. Let's see here. All right. So Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna call and get that work done.
Yep.
I picked the most grotesque thing to paint.
You did. It's nice though.
Picked the most grotesque thing to paint. And so yeah, now I'm just kind of working through all the weird spots.
Yeah.
And that, trying to figure out kind of how do I want it to go? How do I want it painted?
Yeah.
Or how does it want to be painted? I don't know. There is a picture of this somewhere.
Yeah, what is it?
It's whatever from Massive Darkness.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will slowly get.
We have all the steampunky ones to paint eventually too.
Oh, dude, no, those Cthulhian ones are gonna be ridiculous to paint.
Yeah, those Rise of Moloch ones are gonna be.
Oh, they're gonna be gross. It's gonna be great. Jesus, dude.
Sorry.
You realize you got that on video. You realize that, right?
I couldn't help it.
You're a whole other monster, you know that?
I'm so bad.
Pride and joy right there. Pride and joy.
Grandma, dude. I like started a new character in Neverwinter because I didn't want to play the characters I had.
Yeah.
And I just hate the beginning of Neverwinter.
Oh yeah. The beginning of Neverwinter is super duper long. It's super
Boring.
duper boring. And that, yeah.
I can't wait. I want to get to the Ravenloft stuff.
I get that.
They have all the Ravenloft stuff.
Oh,
out
do
now,
they?
So, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I don't know if I have to do certain things to get there. I have to be level 70 to get there, or...
Or what?
Yeah. The joys of Neverwinter.
Tell you, yeah. Well, the worst thing is like, even though they have like that thing built up, so that way you can run through it. Like it takes so long to get through each of those pieces.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel like I accomplished something by getting through the first 2 chapters, and we're not even to Horde of the Dragon Queen yet.
Yeah.
Like we're not even to that like opening part.
Yep.
We're just grazing the surface in a literal way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Oh, I
Are you
would.
painting pus balls?
Yes, I am.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's.
Like souls.
Gosh,
Paint pus
let me
balls.
tell you, it's this thing. It to be fair, it surprises me every time I start painting more of it. Like it's like, oh look, I found another. Oh no.
I have apple chips in the oven too. That should be done here soon. I'm gonna start on that.
Woo, apple chips.
Actually, I might do that before I go do anything else. Cut up the next batch so that they're ready and I can just put them on the tray.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Because I cut them and I dry them before I
Oh,
toss them.
yeah.
in cinnamon.
Fun.
Yeah.
Always super fun
Yeah, I love apple chips. They taste so good for what they are.
for what they are.
For just being apples and cinnamon, dried,
Oh, for real.
but not dehydrated, which is totally different.
Oh yeah, dehydrated apples are 100% different.
Yeah, not as good.
Not as good.
Personal opinion. Okay, have fun.
I'll do what I can. This is always fun though.
Have fun talking to yourself.
Yeah, basically. I was hoping to have someone else. I was hoping to have Buddy here so I could, just kind of shoot the breeze while doing this. But then again, whatever. I just don't mind just painting this jazz on. Let's see, mini. Doop. There we go. That'll probably help. Probably help if I put like actual things down. I don't know. Update some of this stuff. By all means. What? Oh, you can do that sort of thing. Interesting. Cool. Did not know that. Fresh that dude up. I did not put that as a tag. Mini. Update. Don't know why it has that as a search tag, but okay. Whatevs. Alright, got a little bit in the wrong place. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Probably there's nothing interesting in it. All right. Cool. All right. So let's try some. Right now I'm painting like all these weird like nodules on it, like similar color, and that like its eye, like it has other eyes on it, and that because you have like the main one here. On it, you have these odd. I want them to be as yellow as I can kind of get them, so I'm going to dry for a little bit, and then going back over them. Just put a little bit more heavy, be a little more heavy-handed with it, so I kind of get the right color that I want. Happen if this yellow kind of really goes with all this dead skin kind of flesh tones, which is red. To be fair. Okay. So I bet this brush is nice and wet now. Okay, so now, let's see here. I think. Now here's it was an interesting thing. So I've got like 3 greens here. I've got a scaly hide, I've got a goblin, and then I've got an angel green. I also have like a green skin. Ooh, that might be worthwhile. Versus these other ones. I mean, they're mild shadely different, but given the tones I've used with this already, I think I'm gonna go for the green skin. I think that sounds like a good plan to me. I can hear it shaking. I was gonna come loose. All right, so I don't want to be too heavy-handed with this, but what I'm gonna do. Rip some of that off. Ooh, that's really green. For some reason I didn't think it was that green. There we go. Oops, as I rolled this thing over onto some of the paint swatch I had, which is too big of a deal, but yeah, that's what it is. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna try to put some of this green on here, and what I'm probably gonna do. Okay, let's see here. So I have this green skin. And now I'm debating. So what I kind of want to do is give like these certain extremities, like these arms, and that kind of a light green tint. But I could also honestly do that with this green wash. That's what I might do. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that green wash. We're going to see how this changes it. Which could be quite awesome. to be fair. Like, yeah, the Minotaur I painted on Friday, I used 2 brushes and only 2 brushes, which is nice at that. I kind of wanted to live with the screen, but I could totally do something completely different. All right, but let's, yeah. I'm really gonna use this tray over here for this, because I just don't want it to get soaked up by the vellum I have here. All right, here we go. Ooh, this already looks kind of fun. What we're probably end up doing is doing several different kinds of washes on here, because these will help tie together a myriad of these different tones and whatnot. We'll also put some dark stuff on here too, to give it a little bit more of that transition. It's one of those things, like right now I'm just kind of lathering it on, which honestly I don't need to do that. I could be a little bit more strategic in this, but at the same time I kind of am, because I'm not going too far up these stocks and that. I'm going to try and like make it merge the 2 colors at the end of the day. So I don't want to go too far down them, and I don't want to like muddy that color too much, because I want to keep that color for sure. Because otherwise I end up with what is probably, you know, the worst color set ever. Well, you can see this thing's getting kind of bright right now with these mixtures of tones that I'm putting on it. But like the upside of this is, like, if I put a little too much wash on, I can wick it away with a drier brush and get something, you know, closer to what I want. And so I'm trying to do this so that way it's more or less in camera view. So now I got the inside up underneath here, which will be interesting, to say the least. And this will, like this inside, the inside parts here will probably get an interestingly different treatment overall. Smell of paint. Well, smell of wash, I should say. These washes have an interesting smell to them, to say the least. Okay, I think. Okay, rinse. I think I'm gonna take some of this off of here. For sure in some of these spots. Yeah, already, oops. Already, like, it's already partially tied, it's definitely tied in and blended between the hard lines that I put on here. And that. And, like, for some of this, like, that yellow comes through really good in many ways. Got some more spots here that could use a little bit more of it. That's for sure. What I'll probably do is end up dry brushing over the top with one of these yellow colors, and that to bring it out, or bring out some of these some points of that I want to highlight a bit more, and that because yeah, This is one of those things where you can't be too afraid of making at least, one or two awkward mistakes. Jason, we can still chat, buddy. We can totally still chat. No problems there. There's no quarrels where I come from. Only decisions. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's like I also like washes because they do kind of let me hide some of the horrors that I've caused this miniature to have. But you can see kind of like that sickly undertone. The green itself has really given like this thing a different kind of perspective on existence. To be fair, and I kind of like I do get the feeling that this thing's kind of Monster of the Black Lagoon sort of deal. Let me take a shot of this real quick with my phone. Turn on my flash here. Okay. Oh, good gravy. It was one of the things where I'm like, that looks a lot better in better light. Like, it looks way different, way icky, and superly absurd at the same time. And I will add that to my space books, because why not? We're only an hour in. It took me so long to paint that Minotaur the other day. Oh boy, howdy. Okay, so right now we are. Let me see if I can probably set this thing to autofocus, but I don't know if I want to or not. Properties, configure video. All right, so I want this to focus about here. There we go. All right, so I mean, you can really see that like it's beginning to blend together, like some of these hard zones, and that like help that transition. And so like you end up with what appears to be like a natural growth from one color to the next. And as I put another wash on here of a mildly different color, it will again kind of blend those two tones together as harshly as they might be in contrast with each other. Okay, now I do think that like this guy probably has, let that wash kind of seize up for a hot second. Bring that back into focus over there. It's like I manage a dashboard from my phone. I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, so what I might do now is I might go back over those yellow spots, which is exactly what I'm going to do. A little bit more of this yellow and that, and brighten those back up again, just to give us a tinge more color as this thing kind of dries. And like I always like doing multiple minis sometimes like in hand. Instead of just doing one big one all up front, which I gotta let the thing dry a little bit. Which like it helps for sure, and like I could go do that. I think I might go grab my my cockatrice. It sounds way worse than it actually is, by the way. Way worse than it actually is. Okay. Okie doke. Go to. Okay, so let's kind of wait for this thing to sort of dry itself out. Yeah, buddy Jason's talking to me. But yeah, so right now we've kind of hit this thing with a mixture of tones, and I'll show this thing off in a bit different way here. So we've got like its weird grotesque eye. We've got these weird tendrils coming down and off of it, which is pretty rad, to be fair. And like right now, it's just kind of sitting here in a little bit of pocketed wonder. Interesting. Oh, I missed one, didn't I? Or, well, it's covered a lot with green. So, I just need to kind of go in, and we're going to paint this dude's butt. Well, a little bit. Anyway, I've got these little eye spots that look a little bit like eyes. And that, like, yeah, I kind of drenched this thing in a wash, which, you know, is okay. It's not great. But it is a thing you can do. I did want to like give this thing a rough greenish deadly death hue, and as this thing dries, it starts to look better and better and better as it goes. And the nice part about these washes is it seeps into like all these deep crevices and leaves darker and darker stains, which is so fantastic in comparison to just painting in deep zones and whatnot. Do. There we go for now. Eyeball another little bit of that yellow treatment. Slowly getting there. Getting kind of gunked up now. In the brush zone. How's it going? You making it? Yeah, you're surviving. I get it. Oh my. Most times I do wish I had tunes to play a little bit, but meh. It's all good. Yeah, now some of the, like a lot of different parts of this thing are drying up, which looks really nice overall. We're gonna put another deep. I don't know if I want to do a darker tone on it again, or if I'm gonna do some highlighting real quick, just to kind of give a little bit of a punch. And I think I'm going to use, because this is a horrific thing, use some demonic yellow, just for fun. Okay, drop some more of this jazz down. Okay, so we're going to use this guy. This brush is clean, right? Clean as I can get it, anyway. Okay, so we're going to do this, and I'm just going to, as much as I can, and try to hit some of these spots where like there's some high zones and whatnot. So I don't have, like, I mean, I'm getting a little bit more yellow in here than I want, but give it a little bit of a trace down color. We're getting better. We're getting closer on this thing as it's drying out. Now, what I think I'm going to do is actually put some of this. Oh man, we're gonna. Decisions are hard. I kind of want to go gray. I don't know what it is, but I kind of want to go gray. Do I want to go gray and wash out some of those other weird colors, or do I want to... decisions are hard. Oh, that's right. That's lavado. Cream flesh wash. And I could use that flesh wash to give it a little bit of a flesh tone, and that in there as well. I think that's what I'll do. Just a tinge of that, like a little bit of that, like humanistic nature that it probably once was. It may not have been. It may never have been. Who the frick knows? Do. Tuesday nights, they are what they are. Never know who's around. Never know what's going on. It's 8 o'clock. Hopefully I can wrap up this mini at some point here in the near future. Okay. So, we're gonna... This will be interesting. Let's soak all that up. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to drop some of this flesh wash just into certain spots. And that, kind of see what we get. I mean, it's an interesting color comparatively to the green. It's got its own unique... I always love when people say je ne sais quoi, because it just means, I don't know. I don't know what. You could just say I don't know what instead of sounding all, fancy, even though je ne sais quoi. I don't know what. Yes, when you're hyperly perplexed, nothing better than to say in French exactly what you'd normally say in your native language. Oh my. My indeed. I'm just getting this interesting vibe from this, which I do like. I do like the fact that I'm getting an interesting vibe off of what it is. Like, Like, yeah, this is kind of a mildly grotesque thing that, you know, does not fit a norm of any sort, which is kind of awesome at the end of the day, to be totally fair. Like, it's got its own something. So yeah, now, ooh, like, we're getting to the point where it's, where, like, it's obvious that certain things are spread in a way. Do rather like that, like, this flesh tone matches up with the grimoire really well on here, and so it makes some of this actually real easy to kind of handle and deal with. So I'm trying to put it in some of the spots, like these transitions. I want not make it look like part of it's still crawling up a chunk of it in a way. Probably make that. Change my zoom again. I just leave this box open, to be fair. There we go. Yeah, we'll get even closer here. There we go. So we now, like, yeah, this thing in its own is super duper gross. Like, understandably so. Like, this thing has been, this thing's like going through the ringer. Let's be fair. Like, it's a grotesque abomination. We know this. We feel this. We know its soul. We know what kind of nonsense it does. So while this thing kind of rests, I will take a mild break.